Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Pain Train. Continuing on with my video game environment series, here's my top 5 forest stages and areas in video games. Hopefully this is apparent from the title, but this is my list of favorites. This is heavily influenced by my own subjectiveness and biases, but I will try to explain as thoroughly as I can why each area appeals to me. Also, I will be upfront with the fact that I am a Nintendo fanboy, and as such, most entries are going to be from those games. However, I am limiting it to one entry per series for each video, otherwise certain series would dominate these rankings. I'm going to touch on aesthetics, level design, and music. Without any further ado, let's go! At number 5, we have Forest of Illusion 3 from Super Mario World. This is one of, if not the very first video game I ever played. So a young me got to the Forest of Illusion and was stumped by all the secret exits, so I spent a lot of time in this world. Stage 3 has the same good-looking forest aesthetics as most of the other stages in the world, but this one uses enemies and bubbles as an obstacle. There's just something about weaving through trees and seeing bob-ombs and goombas floating helplessly in bubbles that is so funny to me. This stage can be tricky though, because if you touch the bubbles, it kills your momentum, which has sent me careening into pits countless times. Like many Forest of Illusion stages, this one has a secret exit, which simply requires being Big Mario so you can break through the blocks to the keep. Unfortunately, the forest levels don't get their own unique music, and while Super Mario World's music is always enjoyable, not having its own theme hurts this level in my opinion. Regardless, this level is fun and iconic and deserving of the number 5 spot. Next at number 4, we have Glenwood Tangle from Pokemon Sword and Shield. Pokemon is some of the most iconic forests in gaming, from Viridian Forest to Santaloon Forest and everything in between. However, the best forest came from a game that I would never have expected. I have my share of problems with Sword and Shield that I won't get into here, but for most of the game I felt like I was playing a shallow husk of Pokemon games of the past. But as I stepped into Glenwood Tangle, it felt like I was back in 1998, exploring Viridian Forest for the first time. This area is beautiful. The trees don't let sun shine through, so the forest is illuminated by pink and green mushrooms. It has a very mysterious, magical, and slightly creepy feel, which when combined with the grass and fairy Pokemon that can be found here, feels very appropriate. It is also very maze-like, but not to the realm of being frustrating like in some other games. The music is a slightly haunting, playful melody that fits perfectly with the theme of the forest. The game may not have been quite what I wanted, but Glenwood Tangle was a breath of fresh air. Coming in at number 3 is Woodman stage from Mega Man 2. You wouldn't think a great forest stage would come from a game about robots, but Mega Man 2 proves you wrong with an immersive background, appropriately themed enemies, and a thumping music track that makes this stage one of the best. You start outside with slightly mechanical looking trees in the foreground and background that gives the stage some depth. You work your way into the interior of some trees and eventually make your way out of the top of one into the high branches before making your way down through another tree and popping out at ground level into the forest again before facing Woodman. This gives the stage a great sense of symmetry, which isn't really necessary for a good stage but is cool anyway. The stage is filled with animal-themed robots including bats, rabbits, monkeys, birds, and these awful jaguar enemies that spit fire. The music is a really upbeat tune. I wouldn't say it really embodies nature, but it is typical of the fantastic music Mega Man 2 offers, so it's good enough for me. Woodman will use a rotating leaf shield that he will throw at you, while also dropping damaging leaves on you from above, so you must carefully wait for an opening. But it's not too difficult, and defeating him caps off a great forest stage. In second place, we have Woods of Mystery from The Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask. Another series with a long list of great forests. This spot almost went to the Lost Woods from Twilight Princess, but that Skull Kid chase sequence is just a bit too aggravating. Instead, Majora's Mask gives you its variants of the woods depending on the day you enter. On the first, second, and final day, a monkey will lead you through the forest maze to a witch you need to progress the story. But as you chase the monkey, you'll have to avoid snappers that will try to spin at you. If you fall behind, you can get close to an entrance to try to hear the monkey's sound so you can pick the correct way, but picking the wrong path will send you back to the beginning. If you memorize the path, you can explore the forest on your own. discovering grottos with treasure chests, and mushrooms that are necessary for certain potions later in the game. The music is very similar to the Lost Woods from Ocarina of Time, which makes sense as most things in Majora's Mask are just reused assets from Ocarina. But I picked this one over the Lost Woods because of the variety of paths on different days, as well as the snapper enemies. Those turtles are fun. However, its smaller size keeps it from going any higher on the list. And number 1 goes to Click Clock Wood from Banjo-Kazooie. I will hear neither complaint nor debate about this stage. This forest level is the best. The stage is centered around an enormous tree, so the stage has a very unique vertical feel. Many of the tasks involve the forest creatures that live within and around the tree, and the best part is, you have to go through it in all 4 seasons. And as you progress through the seasons, you see that actions that you took in the previous season affect what happens in subsequent ones, which deepens the immersion and makes it feel like what you're doing actually matters in the game. Throughout the course, you'll be helping a beaver, a squirrel, a baby eagle, battling wasps, transforming into a bee yourself. The music is a fantastic bouncy song filled with nature sounds that perfect its theming, and also changes based on the seasons. Lively in the spring, slow and lazy in the summer, slightly somber in the fall, and has the icy twinkling of the winter. This stage does have its sour spots though. Due to the verticality of the level, if you get knocked or slip off, there's a fair chance you're going to die on impact with the ground, simply because it's so high up. Another personal problem I have is that you can only transform into the bee during springtime, when flying around as the bee is one of the most fun parts of this level. I get not allowing it in the winter, but you literally fight other wasps in the summer, so I'm not having that excuse, Mumbo, you incompetent shaman. Either way, those small issues pale in comparison to how ridiculously fun and well-themed this level is. Not only is this the number 1 forest level, but it is up there in my favorite levels in all of gaming. So what did you think of the list? Who did I leave off? Who shouldn't be here? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, please drop a like, subscribe, follow on various social media in the description below. Keep an eye out for more biome rankings in the future. And as always, have a blessed day.